Easter is right around the corner and I am so excited to share with you guys one of my all-time favorite recipes. This is a recipe I've used so many times in the past, from petite gâteaux to plated desserts. The perfect egg shape and appearance makes this the ideal Easter dessert, and don't let the realism fool you, this is beyond easy to make. These eggs are filled with a vanilla mousse, a passion fruit gel, a caramelized white chocolate shell, and it's all sitting on top of a crunchy Kataifi nest. So if that sounds like something you might be interested in, keep watching. So first things first, we are going to start on the vanilla white chocolate mousse so that we can get that into the molds. And this mousse is a very simple technique. All we're gonna do is place 160 grams or 2/3 cup of milk in a pot with 1 vanilla bean and bring this to a boil. Then we are going to dissolve 4 grams or 2 sheets of bloomed gelatin and gently pour that over 170 grams or 1 cup of high quality white chocolate. The chocolate that I'm using today is W2 28% by Barry Callebaut. This is one of my all-time favorite white chocolates because it is significantly less sweet than others on the market, but it's full of milky and vanilla notes. Then we are going to emulsify this ganache and set it aside to cool while we whip our cream. We are going to whip 346 grams or 1.5 cups of cream to medium peaks, and then we are going to grab our ganache from the fridge and begin to gently fold the mousse until it is thoroughly mixed. Now you should have a beautiful silky smooth mousse that is full of vanilla bean speckles. We are going to transfer that into a piping bag and pipe it into our egg mold. And I will link this mold, the chocolates that I'm using, and any other specialty ingredients in the description below. Now you want to fill these molds evenly and confidently so that we avoid getting any air bubbles in the exterior of our egg. Then using a small offset spatula, we are going to smooth the surface of the mousse, and then these can go into the freezer until they are frozen solid. Now let's move on to our passion fruit gel. We are going to place 120 grams or half a cup of passion fruit puree in a pot with 50 grams or 1/4 cup of sugar and bring that to a boil. Then we are going to dissolve in 6 grams or 3 sheets of bloomed gelatin. And now I'm taking a clean bowl that I have lined with saran wrap. This is going to make it super easy to unmold later on. Now I'm going to pour in the gel and refrigerate it until it is completely set up like a jello. Once the gel is set, we can remove it from the bowl and place it into a food processor and begin to blend it until it is fluid. Now, if you don't have a food processor, you can use an immersion blender or a regular blender. And you want to blend this until the texture is one that you can pipe evenly. Now we can transfer this into a piping bag fitted with a small round tip. And let's move on to our Kataifi nest. Now this is super simple. All you need to do is defrost a package of frozen Kataifi, take a small piece, and begin to wrap it around a small ring cutter to make a nest shape. Kataifi is a great ingredient to utilize because it adds such a nice texture, and it also clings to itself really well, so it doesn't unravel easily and you can manipulate it into many different shapes. Then we are going to place these into the oven at 325 degrees for about 10 minutes or until they are golden brown. Now, before we begin to assemble, we have one more component, but it is super simple. So we are going to make a quick cocoa butter shell. All you need is 113 grams or 2/3 cup of caramelized white chocolate and 85 grams or half a cup of cocoa butter. We are going to melt these separately. You guys know the drill by now. I'm melting the cocoa butter in a pot over the stove, and I'm melting the caramelized white chocolate in the microwave in 20-second increments. And then we are going to combine these two together. The reason that we don't combine them and melt them together is because the cocoa butter melts at a much higher temperature than the chocolate will. So you will burn your chocolate before the cocoa butter begins to melt. And the caramelized white chocolate that I'm using today is Gold by Barry Callebaut. It's balanced, intense, and has rich toffee notes. The reason we want to use caramelized white chocolate for the shell is because it's the perfect brown egg color, and obviously it adds a lot of nice caramel and toffee notes Duh. Okay, so now we are finally ready to assemble. We are going to stick our eggs with a toothpick. Now you want to stick the egg a little bit off center where your yolk would be. This way we can cover the hole later on. And you want to dip the egg in gently just to the face of the egg. So take your time here, but also don't take too much time because we have more eggs to dip and we don't want them to melt. Then we are going to set these aside so that they can have a second to set up while we pipe in our egg yolk. Now, once you pipe in your egg yolk, try not to manipulate or move the egg too much. This is because the egg yolk contains gelatin, so it will set up in whatever position you piped it in. So if you tilt it while it's still wet, you're gonna get a weird yolk. And finally, we can place our egg on our nest and we are ready to dig in. That is it for another recipe. I am so happy with these eggs. It has everything that a balanced dessert should have. You have a blend of textures from the Kataifi and the crunchy caramelized white chocolate shell, and a smooth, silky, and airy mousse. And then the acidity from that egg yolk helps to cut through all of the fat. You guys know I am all about a balanced dessert, and this is it. This dessert is super easy and super delicious, and I hope that you guys get a chance to make it. And don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below how you like your eggs. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Smash the like and subscribe button and comment down below of what you want me to do